Thank you, Mr. Chairman. On this thought that this is something new that was just thrown out recently, in October of last year, we dictated out 22 different categories. Those have since been narrowed down to one. This was one of those categories that was given in October of last year. January the 31st, the Chairman wrote to the Attorney General of this year asking for those same documents. He also sent him a Valentine card on February the 14th asking for those same documents again. So while it's easy to say this didn't come up until last week and there's no way he can get it together, it's hard to imagine getting the subpoena last October, getting a letter in January, getting a letter in February. Finally, we can't get to the point to say it's time to turn these things over. Even if he just got it Friday, he would have time to turn over 2 documents. So far, he's given us all of 0 documents related to this. So this is not something I'm just in a hurry, I couldn't get to it. This is a systematic stalling, delaying, I'm not going to turn over documents. Now, I do want to mention a couple things with this as well. This Attorney General and this DOJ has been more than willing to turn over documents related to the previous administration. In fact, immediately started throwing out things related to wide receiver, even when they're not requested. So to bring in a former Attorney General, fine, we can get a chance to do it, but the role of the Oversight and Reform Committee is to deal with oversight of current administrative actions and to try to reform current policies. Now, I know we want to try to relive everything from the Bush administration, and this amendment, while I don't believe it's the gentleman's intent, smacks of it's Bush's fault. And so the Fast and Furious is not Obama's fault. Fast and Furious is Bush's fault because this started somehow in the Bush administration when they're unconnected. And when you look at the two of them side by side, don't give that appearance. I would like for us to be able to get to the facts. The reason we initiated Fast and Furious is all the details came out related to Brian Terry's murder. The weapons are there. ATF immediately began blowing the whistle to say this is something we've been trying to shut down in Phoenix but have been unable to do, and now the whole system collapses. So again, it's easy to say Eric Holder shut this down. He absolutely did shut this down after there was a huge public humiliation of the project itself. It's always easy to close things down after you've been humiliated in it. But the reality is we've got to get to the documents to determine what's really there. Now, if we want to go back and relive the Bush days and have hearings over all that, okay, we've got plenty of documents from this administration that they're more than eager to throw anything out on the Bush administration. But we've got to get to the facts here as well. And it's not consistent to say, well, we need all that old data before we can deal with new data. No, we've got to have both. And I think we are getting old data. We're just not getting new data.
Would my friend yield?
I would.
Would the gentleman from Oklahoma agree that the ranking member actually made a request that, all right, in lieu of a hearing, what if we had a private session with the former Attorney General, just for members only, so that we could at least have a chance to question him? And was it not true that that request was also turned down?
So how does that resolve Fast and Furious, and how does that resolve a letter that was sent to us the 4th of February with false information and then retracted in December? How does that resolve this particular area of this contempt?
If the gentleman is asking me a question, I think it goes to the heart of what you indicated, that somehow the Democrats on this committee were saying first that, and then only after that do we look at the current administration. That's not the case. We were more than willing to look at it contemporaneously, and we're even willing to look at it in camera to at least get informed. What were you thinking? How does this relate to the current situation? Sure. Since it passed as prologue, it was the antecedent of this program, and we felt it would help.
Let me reclaim my time on that. The issue, I'm sure this is about to come up because my understanding is the next amendment that's coming is dealing with the former director, acting director of ATF. We had 2 full days of private meetings with him, and now there's a call to also have a public meeting. So while your comment there about let's have a private meeting and that'll be enough on it, apparently is not enough with the acting director of ATF that we're dealing with.
Would the gentleman yield?
It still comes back to the basic issue of this doesn't resolve what he's in contempt for. Yes, I'd yield to the Chairman. Absolutely.